It's in the best interest not only of your neighbor, but yourself to help them out, right? And that's how we think about this work. What is the United States' interest in this? We're prepared to show up and do it in a way that is motivated by the best interest of diplomacy and democracy and goodwill. There's not going to be a quick fix. We're not going to see an immediate return, but we're going to see progress.
No quick fix. And that was Vice President Kamala Harris in an exclusive interview with NBC's Lester Holt on her first international trip as vice president. Harris met today with the president of Mexico as she continues her tour there, focusing on the root causes of the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border and how the slow migration from Mexico and Northern Triangle countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. In that same interview, Holt pressed Harris on her comments from yesterday, where the vice president told migrants not to come here. Listen.
What do you tell a Guatemalan family who heard you say don't come, but, you know, they're facing the end. There's poverty, there's disease, all these things happening at once. You tell them don't come?
We don't want, listen, I don't think that Americans want people to be exposed to harm if they can avoid it. And what we are seeing is that people are fleeing. They're paying coyotes. They're taking the trek from the place that they know that they want to stay. So I'm here in Guatemala to say, what can we do to support people and to give them a sense of hope that help is on the way? So, for example, we have, for the first time, created an anti-trafficking task force, and in addition, an anti-corruption task force, where the United States Department of Justice, together with the Treasury Department and the State Department, are going to be focusing on the issue of corruption in this region. We need to deal with and confront the corruption issue, and we need to give people a sense of hope.
You can see more of Lester's interview with the Vice President tonight on NBC Nightly News. But for now, let's bring into our conversation Kim Atkins Stohr, senior opinion writer for the Boston Globe and an MSNBC contributor, and Jonathan Lemire is still here. Kim Atkins, the Vice President really walking into what is maybe the most charged political issue in the country. What do you make of the headlines and the speeches and the announcements so far?
Yes, it's one of the most charged and one of the most difficult policy-wise to navigate. You know, it's a lot easier to do what the past administration did and just denounce immigrants and insult them and separate them from their children in an effort to deter them from coming. It's much harder to try to actually fix the problem. And what the vice president is trying to do is to say that this is going to be a long haul. There are a lot of causes to why we are seeing so many migrants coming to the United States, and there are going to have to be a complex set of issues that are addressed in order to address it. The headline when she said don't come, that's an easy headline. As somebody who's worked for a number of news organizations, including radio and tabloid newspapers, that would splash that. But what she was trying to say is, hold on, just thinking that because there was an administration change, you could just come into the United States and you still won't face the obstacles, and you certainly won't face the treacherous road to try to migrate from their home countries to the United States. It's very dangerous to hold on and wait to the U.S. to try to establish something that would be helpful. It's tough, and I think she knew that going in, and it's certainly playing out that way.